Um, you know, it's funny. What I remember most about Rick Rude was when he came to work for us there. He had like the best looking valet that I'd ever seen. This girl named Angel, and of course I really enjoyed working with Rick. And he was I guess pretty much basically just starting out there when he came through Memphis, and he had that really good look physically and everything, and Rick did good interviews, and so whenever we got somebody coming through like that that had that look, we would thrust them right into a main event program, usually with me, and so I think it really would help somebody like, I mean, you can't do anything but help somebody when you're as trying to learn, as Rick was, to be in that pressure situation. There's no substitute for that. To be have that responsibility of being part of the main match that's going to be responsible for drawing the people into the building, having to do the most important interview on television that week, and then having to have the most important match on the card that night. That's that's where it's a make it or break it situation, and Rick came in for us and did real well. We drew some big crowds with Rick. As I said, but the main thing I remember about him was his valet. She was so good looking, and the neatest thing, it was like the first time they got so much heat, and she was, she would do things in the match, and they had so much heat that I think it was the first time ever that I in Memphis gave a pile driver or did a big move to a female. And we talked about it beforehand, and we thought, I mean, if I do this, is this going to make me a heel, or is this going to, is this going to turn the people off? And the two things that I remember about that pile driver was when I stuck her head between my legs and picked her up, I glanced down, and she wasn't wearing any panties. And I held her for a long time before I pile driver. That's the first thing I remember about. That was my favorite pile driver of all time, even better than the Andy Kaufman pile driver. And the second thing I remember about it was when I actually gave her the pile driver. I honestly think that may have been the biggest pop that I ever heard in the Coliseum. Maybe even as big or bigger than when I finally beat Kurt Hennig to win the world title there. It was just, and it may have just seemed that way to me because we were apprehensive about it, and we were wondering if the people would be mad at me for pile driving a girl. But it was like, that's what they wanted to see,